Hello, I'm Kim Hood and welcome to Handmade. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing the fourth video in a four-part series. Now I saved it for last because, well, it's the one that drove me crazy and took me the longest to do. It should have been really quite easy. But who knew dyeing doilies was going to be such a big deal? Now what I did learn in this process is that those synthetic doilies from Temu, while they are beautiful, they do not dye. Don't even try. Just what you need are doilies made from natural fibers like cottons, linens, etc. So those doilies grandma made, those are the ones you want to get. Now, of course, I get mine at thrift stores, secondhand shops. Sometimes I look up if I'm at the Goodwill. But they need to be able to be dyed, and a natural fiber is going to be what you want to do. Now, I'm going to share some wisdom that I've gleaned from this experience. Using dyes that you would think would work doesn't. Now, first of all, I didn't know it was difficult to find those RIT dyes. And I hadn't looked for them in a long time, but in my area, Walmart, Dollar General, I looked in all various types of places I would normally buy RIT dye, didn't have them. So I don't know if they don't exist anymore or just whatever. I thought about ordering it from Amazon. I didn't look to see if they even had it because I need to get the project done. So from a lady who runs a channel over at Our Upcycled Life, that's what it's called. Great channel. Check her out. She did a show where she actually painted a chair, a thrifted chair, and it was a fabric chair. And so and I remember her using some fabric softener and just some regular acrylic paint and some water. And so I happened to find the recipe. You want to mix 2 parts fabric softener, 1 part acrylic, latex, or chalk paint. Okay. And you'll see as this video goes on that I'll have that recipe in there for you. And then it helps to make sure that you wash the fabric if you can, okay? So you're not going to be able to wash the chair. But I was able to put the doilies through the washer. You want to get any kind of sizing out or anything that could interfere with the painting process because it's going to be painting the fabric using these things. And then you want the fabric to be wet. So a mister bottle, you'll see it in the video, to spritz the doilies down so that you can then paint the doilies. So in this video, when I get started, you're going to see that I had already attempted to dye the doilies. You'll see them a little bit light orange and a little bit of a light blue-green. This was where I had taken like vinegar and food coloring. Didn't work. I did some food coloring with some fabric softener. Didn't work either. So the fabric softener with the acrylic paint, that worked. And so take it from me. If you want to dye a doily, fabric softener, acrylic paint. Now with that said, let's get on with the video, okay? So Miss Thang, roll it.
Welcome to the show, it's Hood Made. Hood Made! Yeah, she flipped that fine from worn out junk to one of a kind. Thread and paint, she's got the cure for a boring room or a dress unsure. Click subscribe, you'll be amazed. She's changing the world in a crafty way. It's not homemade, it's Hood Made.
Okay, now to get these doilies dyed. This is the fabric softener, and I'm going to be mixing 2 parts fabric softener to 1 part acrylic paint. So for example, if you want to do a tablespoon of acrylic paint, you're going to want 2 tablespoons of fabric softener. So that's how you'd measure it out. Now, don't do what I did. I did eyeballing it. And so that doesn't always work real good, but it did work out pretty decent. Now, after I get that mixed up, I'm spritzing the doily down with some water, and then I'm just going to paint this mixture onto the doily, and just working the acrylic paint into the fabric of the doily, and then go around the edges of it to also get it into the tatting or crochet. I'm not sure which one it is. Um, and I even did the back side of it. Now here I'm doing this blue green, again a 2-to-1 mixture, and you can see where I tried to dye this doily, and when I did it before, it left it yellow when it all dried. So, and I'm spritzing it down so it'll take this paint a little bit better. And I'm just going to go around painting it, working it into. This is a crocheted doily, working it in. I'm going to do both sides to make sure that there's adequate color on the front and the back. Now, when I got finished with these, I took them outside and just let them sit outside for about 24 hours to dry. I live here in Florida, so it's nice and warm, and it did help it to dry well. Now, before I took it outside, I did get a dry paper towel and I just dabbed off the excess on the green, and then you get a second paper towel. Don't do the same one, you're going to mix your colors up, and dab off the excess on the orange one, and then take it outside, let the sun work on it. Now, I took the glass out of the picture frame that I was going to be using for this project, and I just outlined it with this Sharpie marker. And what I'm going to use this cardboard for is the backing that I'm going to put my doilies on. And I'm using my electric scissors to cut it. Makes it so much easier to cut the cardboard using the electric scissors. Now, once this is done, I'm going to tape some stripes onto this cardboard. And again, in order to kind of keep the stripes a little bit equidistant, I'm going to put a spacer piece um, between the tape. So you'll see here, that's my spacer piece. And then I'm going to put the next one down, which is going to keep the cardboard, the color of cardboard. And once I have that done, then I'm going to pick the spacer piece up and lay it down, and use that as my guide to put the next piece of tape on. I'm going to do that all the way down. Okay, now I have my stripes taped off, and I'm going to use this old chip brush and some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Shake that up real good, and I'm going to paint the stripes that are not, taped, of course, this white color. So the goal is to have kind of a rustic looking striped background. And I'm not going for full coverage. You'll see I'm kind of letting some of that texture show on the cardboard, making it look, I kind of wanted this to look like a painted old piece of wood when it was all said and done. So it might not look quite that way, but the look that it did provide was good. I liked it. So once that's complete, I'm going to let this dry. I'll actually use a heat gun to kind of speed up the process because, well, why wait if you don't have to, right? So I did dry that, and then I removed. Now this is so satisfying. Look how pretty that is. It's so sharp and crisp. Um, and I'm going to remove these pieces of tape. I'm going to have this nice little striped background. Now I do take this out at some point when I'm finished and just do a light spray coating of acrylic. Yeah, I sealed it with the polyacrylic spray and let it dry. Now, I have this old placemat that I got from the Dollar General. Actually, it's not old. I bought it this year, and I've since used it in a gathering, but I've replaced it with some other placemats, and of course, I kept it. Now, when I cut it and trimmed it, I want that other edge to be frayed, and so I'm going to use this as part of the background. You'll see in a bit. Now, right now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and start making some messy bows using some ribbons and laces and twines, and I'm just going to crisscross these. You'll see, I'm going to speed this up here in a minute, but I'll crisscross it and tie them in the middle, and I'm going to do 3 of those. Now, these are going to go on the top of these doilies. Now, these doilies are going to be used to make some pumpkins, an orange pumpkin, this little blue-green pumpkin, and of course, you can see that doily there that's kind of beige. That's the natural color. I'm going to leave it the natural color, and it's going to be part of a pumpkin too. So let's get these messy bows made. Now, this messy bow had some twine, and I didn't want to just leave it as the plain old twine 'cause I thought that'd be boring. So I'm actually untwisting it because I want it to be, um, I like the texture that untwisted twine provides. So you'll see how I'm just going to kind of work it loose and really get those hairs of the twine loose so that it provides this extra texture. And on this messy bow, there's also a piece of twine that is white and gold that's been you know, twisted together. I undid those two. And then here I'm just going to be trimming it up. So I like to put the little ends of the ribbon together and then dovetail them all at once. Makes it so much easier. And then, I'll cut the ends of these kind of at an angle, trim it up, make it look nice. Now, this is going to be the next messy bow. Again, let me speed this up for y'all. Now that I got my messy bows done, I'm going to begin to put them on the top of the pumpkin. So you can see I'm going to trying it out there. And that's going to be my stem. Y'all, I got that piece of wood out of my yard. And I used my chop saw to chop them up and make them a little bit with an edge there. Now it's assembly time. I'm going to put this piece of placemat. I'm going to glue that onto this background. I'm using it kind of to, of course, break up the stripes a little bit, but also to add a little bit more texture in that background um, and to provide a little bit more of a backdrop for the pumpkins. Now, what I'm doing is just putting some light glue on there and just sticking it on there and uh, trimming the edges. Now, I'm going to be putting the orange pumpkin on first. It's the biggest one, okay? And I'm going to use the glue gun to just put a little light hot glue on the edges of the doily and just sticking it down. I'm going to go all the way around and do this. I'm even going to kind of put some down under that midsection, especially along the top because this is going to be a picture, so it's going to be standing upright, and I don't want that to slide or have a lot of weight on it. Now I'm gluing that stick that I cut from my yard, and then I'm going to put the messy bow over the edge of that stick. So this is going to take the place of what leaves would typically would be placed there. Now this is the beige doily. I did not dye this. This is the natural color. This one was a little bit more challenging because I had to put that hot glue on the edges of the crocheted or tatted pieces. And again, I just did this lightly all the way around. Um, Even put some in that middle section. The goal is to put it on the back of the doily without it showing on the front, essentially, is what you want to do. And just do that very carefully all the way around. Um, Use caution because it is hot glue, so you don't want to get on your hands. I seem to be able to keep it off my hands during the video, so that worked out well. Just put that down and gently pat that just like that. Now here I'm going to do the next stem of the pumpkin using that stick. And then of course the next messy bow is going to go where the leaves would normally go. And I'm going to complete the same thing for the blue-green one. Now that my pumpkins are assembled, I have these little pins that I'm going to glue on the front. One is a little turkey, and then of course I have a little sunflower, and then I have a fall looking leaf. And these are little bling pins that I got from a company called Totally Dazzled. They have some really pretty little bling, and if you're someone that likes to make something look a little bougie or blingy, this is a great place to get some of those things to add to some of your crafts, especially in the pictures. Now I've turned my picture frame over, and I put the project in there, and I'm using my little picture frame nailer to put it into place. I'm going to do that all the way around, just lightly putting it in. And this isn't going to be very heavy because I don't have the glass in it. Now, after I finished the project, I thought it needs a little something. So I got this word blessed, and I spray painted it this hunter green color. And then I'm going to use this gold paint pen, and I'm going to put some highlights just on the edges of the word to just make it pop a little bit. Now, I will tell y'all, I did this about 4 times before I finally got it to look like I wanted it to look. I kept messing it up. I'd go outside, spray paint it again, come in, try it again. And then finally I was like, okay, I figured out how I want this to look, and got that gold on there and let it dry. And now that it's dry, I'm going to hot glue it to the left upper corner to the side. And y'all, here it is. I think it turned out so cute. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Would you've done something different, use different color, different background? I'd love to hear your ideas. Here's a little close-up of the pins that I put in the center. Sunflower, the blingy leaf, and then a little close-up of the blessed with the outlined gold outline.